Alrighty. Time for some Sword and Shield. I'm taking a little break from Diglett, streaming Diglett at least, just because I know it's seeing the same thing all the time is kind of not the most fun. I am at 7,800 now. I did 1,000 resets yesterday. Over 1,000 actually. Yeah, I started at 67 or 6,700 and got to 7,800 today or yesterday. So I'm taking a little break from that, doing some of these. Maybe I can get it. Maybe I can get this Regeleki. Yeah, it's looking like the Diglett hunt is gonna be a little over odds, but that's okay. That's okay. Unfortunately. But yeah. Gonna give this a couple more. Oops. What the heck? Gonna do some more resets on here. And it's not that bad actually, because it's only one controller. You only need one controller, and as long as I'm not doing anything else, I should be fine. I didn't get my 3DS sent in. I got everything set up to send it in, but I think they were out of the free packers or the free boxes. So yeah, I'm gonna wait till Wednesday, or I'm probably gonna wait till Friday because I get paid next Friday. But yeah, my DS and Leaf Green should be here, so I can hunt that in the meantime before I send it in. It's just well, let's see, can I even, yeah, it's just now is when they close. So I could have probably, but the thing is I didn't have bubble wrap, and I don't know if they have bubble wrap, but I didn't want to ask. I could go to like Dollar General and get bubble wrap, I'm pretty sure. But I'm just gonna wait to send it out until next week. Which I think that's fine. But yeah, just looking to do a nice chill stream. I'm thinking, I don't know what we're gonna be able to get up to today. Probably, I don't know how fast the resets are. Then yeah, I don't know. If it's 10 every 5 minutes or so, I need to start counting them too. I don't know why I'm not counting them. 10 every 5 minutes. It's like 60 an hour. No, that's 120 per hour. Okay, so I'll probably do like 150. Because these things are not the most fun to hunt. But hopefully we can get it pretty early on. I'd love that, honestly. It's been forever since I've gotten a legendary, and it's been forever since I've yeah, pretty much. Or since I've even gotten a shiny that wasn't like Dynamax Adventures. Those are the only ones that I've gotten, really. Okay, I think I'm gonna start counting them on the, like, after I close it. I think that might help me a little bit. Yeah, I need to check something real quick. Yeah, says should be aligned left. Maybe. Yeah, there we go. That's better. Also, I want to do a shiny roll real quick, see what we get. That's pretty much the same number I got yesterday, too. I think it was like 14 something. But yeah, I'm gonna probably hunt Diglett after stream today. I'm gonna try and get to 8,500 before I go back to work tomorrow. 8,500, and I should get it. But you never know. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna pedal it when I encounter it. It'll be easier to keep track of. Dun. Oh yeah, so I bought a burgundy DSI like I said I would. That's kind of also why I'm waiting till my next paycheck. I mean, I've cut down on a lot of my spending on like other random stuff. Like the biggest spend for me was probably like food, but I've cut down on that quite a bit, being more smart with it. So I usually only spend 100 every week, which it's not that bad. 100 every week isn't bad. Yeah, because for a lot of people say that you should do like 1,000 for groceries, or that's usually how much they cost. So 400 is not bad. But yeah, I bought it, and it came with it was like a Sims game. It came with a Sims game and a Mario Maker case, but I bought it because it was $100, or was it 100? I don't even remember, but it was like the best condition one I saw, probably because of it had the case, or like the carrying case or whatever. But yeah, I'm excited for that. It's gonna be really fun, especially because I can complete White 2 on it. It said it'll be here probably end of the month, I think it said. So that's cool. End of the month. Yeah, it was only like $100 or so. $100 or so for my dream DS is kind of a good deal. So yeah, once I get, I'll send it in on Friday when I get paid. Next Friday, not tomorrow. And then yeah, we'll see what happens after that. I know I said I would send it in this part, but I just didn't have anything prepared. Yeah. Also, I've been doing a shiny hunt on the side. I've been doing Elekid in Burbank Complex. Just because I think I said this yesterday, but I want to have a shiny Elekid or Electivire on my team. It really could be just any shiny, but I don't know. I'm already like 300, 400 deep, I think. Okay, so yeah, it's about 10 encounters every 5 minutes. 2 encounters every minute. That's not bad, I guess. I mean, the odds being as low as they are, I can't really complain. Even though they are 4,096. Eh. Yeah, I spent quite a while on eBay, like during stream and outside of stream, just looking for something that was good quality and not like super expensive. There were a couple ones that were like on Amazon for some reason, and I don't think I trust that. There was like a refurbished one. I was like, no, I just want like the best quality one I can. And I almost got tricked into buying a Japanese one, which it's fine. I just would rather have the English one. Move this there. But yeah, going back to work tomorrow's Saturday, and then Sunday I'll stream like around this time because I took like most of the day off. Oh hey, what's going on, guys? Hope you guys are doing good. Yeah, I took a little break from Diglett just for stream at least. I did 1,000 resets, over 1,000 resets yesterday. So just doing something different, something not too bad. And then after stream I'll probably try and do quite a bit more, but I still haven't gotten Diglett. Yeah, I mean, I was just in a rhythm and I just kept going and going. I was gonna stop, and then I'm like, you know what, I'll do 200 more just to like push myself. I do have Shiny Charm. Unfortunately, I don't think it affects Regeleki and Regidrago. Ooh, Poke Radar? Well, best of luck with that. I'm assuming that's an X and Y. Yeah, I don't like Poke Radar. I mean, I have never done it, but just the thought of it, I just don't like. So best of luck with that. Pansage is actually pretty good shiny. Or, what's the... Simisage is a really good shiny. Hell yeah. I'd say X and Y is the best game to Poke Radar in. I don't know why, but... Hey, I mean, if you can get a lot of different different Pokemon from it, and once you know how to do it, it's a lot easier. A lot easier to not break your chain. It's just the learning how to do it and like practicing it. That's the hard part, at least in my eyes. But yeah, I was just saying earlier, I got did I count that one? I don't think I did. I got my DSi XL, the burgundy one. I found one that was in good condition and it was like $100, so I got it. It also came with the Sims game and a case. But because of that, and because I bought a DS and a leaf green copy, I'm like, you know what? I'll probably wait until my next paycheck to get the capture card for my 3DS. I have everything set up now, so I can just like send it once I get paid. But yeah, I'm not gonna be able to send it out till next Friday. But I'm still happy with the DSi. I almost bought a Japanese one on accident because I didn't look at the back, and it was like half the price, so I'm like, well, I might as well get it. And as I was checking out the condition, I saw it was DSi LL, and I was like, well, like, just for my preference, I'd rather have the American one. I know it probably doesn't make a difference, but just personal preference. Yeah, it's more about the aesthetic though. And like, I don't know, it just feels like not the same thing. Because I'm not gonna buy any other DSIs, I don't really think. Because you can't really do much on them besides DS games, and that's it. I'm probably still gonna, well, I don't even know if I'll mod it really. I don't even know if I need to mod it. But I have I'm sure it's not that hard to mod. You got an R4 card? Yeah, I got mine today. It was just sitting in my PO box. But I don't think I'll actually use it until I need to put stuff in events. Put events into games. Yeah, come Monday I should be, if I don't have the Diglett, I'll start doing the double hunts on the leaf green. I mean, either way, 2 encounters will make it so it's like it'll be like 400 encounters per hour instead of 200. Literally double efficiency. The only thing that's gonna be a problem is nicknaming, I think. I know in Black 2 there's like an English selection screen, but I don't think there is one for Fire Red. So it might just have to, oops, it might just have to stay in Japanese. Honestly though, shiny Japanese Vulpix is pretty cool. So if I got that, I wouldn't be too mad. And I was also thinking, because I have Mewtwo as one of my members, but you can't get it until post game, I'm thinking if I phase for a Pidgey in the hunt for Growlithe, I'll probably just use that and then like after I beat the Elite Four, I'd get Mewtwo, and once I get the Mewtwo, then I would like re-challenge the league or whatever. Yeah. I don't know if that's like exclusive to Black 2 and White 2 though, or that's like when they switched over to that. But if not, I could just pick some cool looking characters and switch and like transfer it over. I might be able to do something with the R4 card too. I don't know if you can like go into the file or not. I don't know if you can directly edit stuff. Yeah, we'll see. Oh, that is true. I didn't even think about that. You could like take the file and put it into PKHex. That's cool. Originally, that's what I was gonna do with the emulators. When I was playing on emulators for Squirtle, I was gonna like, once I finished the Dream Team quest, I was gonna transfer that save file onto like an actual cartridge. So I'd probably just edit it there. I haven't used PKHex since like, oh man, probably Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire days, like 10 years ago. Yeah. Yep. I used it for like hacking in random Pokemon. Just because I wanted to have them. Like there was a Helioptile that I had put in my game. It was a shiny Helioptile, but I gave it all like super powerful moves and like moves it can't get and all that stuff. And it had like huge power or some broken ability. I just made it the most OP thing ever. Just to like mess around with. Yeah, I don't even know what I was doing yesterday. I can't even remember what I was doing. But I just like had... Like, I've gotten to the point where I can just like not even look at the game and just do other stuff. So I guess that's a good thing, but I'd rather just like get it now than be good at it. I mean, that'll come in handy for the next random encounter, now that I have that down. I'm just gonna try and get the white flute. Honestly, if I can't get the white flute for Growlithe, I'm just gonna maybe, if the Japanese leaf green has gotten to the point where you can get white flutes, I'll just like transfer one over. I don't know though, because like, I think I said this yesterday, but like when you encounter it, it'll take longer to get to the move selection screen. So like your brain will like notice something's weird or different. At least for me. But that's why I try and play with the sound on when I'm not streaming. So if there is a shiny, I could still see it. Yeah, I'm ready to get one of these hunts out of the way. I keep seeing people, like, I see like YouTube videos. There's this guy I've been watching lately. I think it's Mr. Houndoom or something. He's done like a couple shiny only Let's Plays. Or like, he does like shiny hunting videos. And so many of his hunts are like way under odds, like half odds or under. But it's in like full odds games, but he'll go like half odds for most of them or at odds. And I'm like, man, why can't that be me? Why can't I get something like half or below? Like some of the ones he gets are like, I've seen he got one at like 300 reset or 300 random encounters, 2,000, 4,000. I know. Oh, you seen him? Yeah, he's really good. I'm pretty sure he uses emulator, but the fact that he still shiny hunts on emulator, I think that makes up for it. Yeah, he puts a lot of work in his videos. He's only at like 4K, I think. 4K subscribers. Yeah, I was watching him a lot yesterday. I don't know where he's from though, because it sounds like he might be French, but I have no clue. I didn't look it up. It's just funny how like he'll pronounce Pokemon sometimes. Yeah, Mr. Houndoom. I think there was another one with like not a lot of subscribers. I can't remember though. But like the fact he doesn't use speed up, like he does use like four screens or whatever, but he doesn't use speed up, and that's like the only thing I care about. Like you can have as many screens as you want, but don't use speed up. There was a smaller guy than that, like less than 1,000, and he was using speed up on, I think it was X, and it was just, I couldn't watch it. Like he was hunting the starters, but he had like 4 screens and they were all sped up, and I'm like, really? Come on now, just like take the time or don't do the challenge. Or there's this other guy I've been watching. Oh man, I have his channel blocked now, but like he would have like shiny reaction, blah 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 blah, and then it would be a ROM hack. It'd be a ROM hack of like a different game with like increased shiny odds, and I'm like, why would you post this? It's literally clickbait. Because it's like 20 encounters, shiny Haxorus or whatever, and then it's just like a black 2 ROM hack with extra shiny odds. I mean, yeah, I don't think it would take that long. It takes like 20 minutes to find a shiny. I don't understand the point of uploading the video unless you're trying to capitalize on people looking up shiny reactions. Exactly. I don't understand it. It's like making a shiny reaction to getting shiny Gyarados. It's like, well, it is a shiny, however, comma, it's the point of a shiny reaction is like it takes work. Like even if it's Scarlet and Violet, that still takes work. It takes like at least half an hour at minimum to get a shiny. Like I understand if it's like a playthrough, like shiny only playthrough, because like that the point is the playthrough with shinies, not like shiny hunting. Or it's like you have a pen of like deer or whatever, you have a small pen of deer and you're like quote unquote hunting them even though they're like right there. Like it's got like, I understand if you just want to like get shinies for fun, but like you can't call that hunting really. Like I have videos of I shiny hunted in Pokemon Uranium, which is a ROM hack. And I got shinies from it, but the thing is, it's still 4096 odds. So those are still shiny hunts. Right. Like, I'm not gonna go as far to say, like, it ruins the value of shinies, because since they are ROM hacks, it doesn't really matter, I guess. It's kind of like PM7? Is that his channel? He'll do like first one to get a shiny blank wins or whatever. But like it's a ROM hack of, or it's just a hack of like Shield or Let's Go, where the odds are like way increased. That I don't even know about that really. I don't like it particularly, but I understand it's like made for kids. And the point is the challenge. It's not like the point is like get a legit shiny. It's just to get one to like play around with, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I should let people have their fun, but to claim it's like a shiny reaction, I don't see the point. I don't see the point of that. I need to check up on 40 Cake's stream. I don't even know if he's out of what is it, Fire Path or whatever. Last I checked, all he needed was a Grimer. Like he had just gotten one Grimer. But I'm assuming since it took so long to get the first one that he's probably still in Fiery Path. Yeah, I feel like he's gonna complete it by like 20. He'll probably complete it by the end of next year. Because there's not a lot of Pokemon that are at this point in Emerald or whatever. There's not a lot of Pokemon that are not repeats. Also, I don't even know if you can. There's like, let's see. There's gonna be Spoink, Grumpig. Yeah, I don't even know. There's not a lot left though. I'd say the bulk of it was in Mauville, in the connecting route. There were a lot of Pokemon in there. I need to get like more Game Boy game cases. I was looking up traveling cases because I saw a gold one. I saw a case from Pokemon Gold, and it reminded me of one that my friend that had the Pokewalker I talked about yesterday. It's the same one that he had, and I just like had remembered it. And I wanted to get it, but it was like $80 something. I'm like, hell, not for a game case, or not for I mean, technically it was a Game Boy Color case because it was gold from Pokemon Gold. But I'm pretty sure he used it for his DS. For nostalgia purposes, I wanted to get it, but like $89 on a case that I probably won't use too much. I mean, that's kind of why I don't want to. I mean, I do have a case. I have a carrying case. It's a yellow. It's just like an off-brand case, but it fits my. I have another case with my DS and 3DS games. It fits that, and it fits like 2 or 3 3DSs. So I don't know. I don't even use that really. I usually just put the 3DS in my pocket or whatever. Maybe if I like, that's one of those things, like if I were to like, maybe when I'm like 43 and I find one, I'd get it just to like remember. But yeah, I don't know. Right now, a case is not not my first pick to spend money on. I think it popped up because I was looking for like actual cases for like my 3DS, but yeah, a lot of them that popped up were just like carrying cases, so I was just looking around for that at that point. Yeah, I have a calendar date set for it actually. I have a calendar date. Nah, I don't know. It just sounds like an age that I'd be like, you know what? I got some extra money. I don't know. Right now, my main thing is like cartridges and the consoles. But once you get like older, you start getting really niche. Like, ooh, I have this limited edition Fennekin 3DS stylus or whatever. Yeah, you gotta have that planned out. I got my whole life planned out actually on Google Docs or Google Calendar or whatever. My marriage day, when my first kid's born, when I die. 2087, I'll be out of here. That's true, that's true. I just don't want to pay the subscription or whatever. But yeah, I'll set up like I'll set up a retirement account just to buy used Nintendo consoles. pack everything. Yeah. I saw somewhere people were saying, like, instead of buying a bunch of 3DSs, it'd probably be a good idea to invest in batteries. Because the consoles are gonna last probably a while, but the only thing that's gonna, like, deteriorate eventually is the batteries. So I need to stock up on those a little bit. Hey Jack, how you doing? I'm doing pretty good. Just doing a nice little chill Regeleki reset hunt. Talking about buying Nintendo cases when I'm 43. Yeah, I don't think I would ever like collect something to gain monetary value. I'd mostly collect just for like personal enjoyment. Oh, nice. Getting some DAs. Are you going for Solgaleo or what are you going for? Or just anything? Like, I know a lot of people, especially scalpers, they'll buy stuff and just keep them just so they can resell them at like 4 times the price or whatever. But nah, I just like my personal collection. I mean, that's kind of also why I don't get into TCG at all. Like, I used to love it as a kid, just to like get an occasional pack every couple months or a box every couple of months. But at this point, it's literally just all money. Which, like, it was gonna get like that eventually. And I don't even know if it'll get better, but you can always hope, I guess. Oh, dang. That's awesome. Congratulations. All 3 of them. That's awesome. Dang. That's over the weekend too. Yeah, hopefully once I go back to Solgaleo I can get it under 100. Yeah, I mean, I've gotten myself a couple, like I got a 10 one time, and I got a Koraidon EX or whatever from it, which is pretty cool. But aside from that, I just don't have any interest in it. Like, anything that you have to pay essentially to play is kind of just like, I don't like it. Like Pokemon Go, I don't really touch it because it gets to a point where you either want to pay to win or you have to. And same thing with TCG Pocket, same thing with if there's like a pay to win option, I don't usually play it. Like when Pokemon Go just came out, it was like everyone was on the same playing field and I was able to keep up for a couple months, but then I think once the raid stuff started happening, that's when I dropped out, because I'm like, okay, if I have to like play with other people to be able to get something, like there's no single player option. It's like you have to play with other people. That's just not my style. Like, I know you don't have to, you can just collect Pokemon or whatever, but like it gets to a point where you kind of have to play with other people as far as like gyms and I don't know, there's just a chance that like I'll be at a Pokestop and someone else will be there and it'll get real awkward. But yeah, I don't know, especially because there is a Pokestop like literally within walking distance of my house, but the problem is it's at a park and it's like kind of a kids park, so me sitting there for like hours is kind of creepy. If it wasn't, if it was just like a normal, I guess it's technically just a public park, but like, I don't know, I just don't feel right. Like, would it be so wrong to GPS spoof to like go to the park that's like 1 minute away from me? Like, morally, would that be wrong? Because the only reason I don't want to go there is because of the kids. Because there's been like a couple times where kids have like had the same interests as me, like Pokemon, and I can tell when there's an adult around that it looks weird. Even though we both like Pokemon, we're talking about Pokemon, it's still, I don't know, it just doesn't sit right with me. Yeah, I know it isn't wrong, but like, I just don't want to risk look like a creep. Because there's a lot of like older people, like everyone that lives around me are like 40 or above. And if I was to just sit at the park for like even over an hour, I feel like there's a chance that they could like call the cops. And the police station is not that far away either. It's like a minute from there too. So I just don't want any like trouble. I could try it one time and see how it goes, but I'm just anxious about like people getting the wrong idea. Especially if I think like I could stay there if there was no one else there. But as soon as like people came with their kids, that's when I would leave. Cause like, yeah. Yeah, that's the main reason though. And I understand why. I would probably be the one to call the cops in that situation. If I would just like, if you saw someone on their phone, well, I mean, being on your phone isn't that bad. But like, I think I'd probably like want to bring something else with me. But I don't know. It is a public park after all. As long as I'm not in like sus clothing, I think I would be fine. But it's also like, yeah, I don't know. It would just take a lot of time. Because I'd have to get lures to set up at the Pokestop, and I'd have to wait I think it's 5 minutes, right? To respin the Pokestop. But if I would like be shiny hunting at the same time, it might be fun. I would just have to find a day where there's nice weather and no one there. So more like in the spring or summer. Yeah, I mean, that's just like instinct though. I'm not like, I am like a little bit heavy. I wouldn't say I'm not 400 pounds. I'll just say that. Probably like two something. But I usually take care of myself otherwise. I wouldn't see there to be a reason. Like, I know what you're talking about, like the what is it called? I know what you're talking about though. I would just try and, like I said, I'd probably just leave as soon as someone else came, and then come back a couple hours later. It wouldn't be that big of a deal anyway. Because most people don't stay at the park more than an hour. And I wouldn't be playing Pokemon Go all day either. Like, if I just wanted to go on a walk, I could stay over there for a little bit. Because, yeah, it's like a minute or two walk from my house. But I mean, if I don't even know how Pokestop locations work, but I can't choose where they are, and if I was to like get questioned, I'd be like, well, this is the only Pokestop that's like close to me. I think there's one at the post office maybe, but that's like 4 or 5 minute walk, or maybe even longer. So I don't think it'd be worth it. Especially sitting at the post office. I mean, they do close very early, but like just sitting in my car at the post office would be also, I think that'd be more sus, to be honest. Just sitting in like at the post office for hours on my phone, I think that'd be more sus than anything. Yeah, just having shiny Pokemon from Pokemon Go would be pretty cool, because I know the odds are a lot higher, right? Especially on community days. So just having a shiny Pokemon would be cool. I don't think I would use them for anything. I don't even know if I would keep a lot of them. Yeah, I don't know. Some people, especially older people, they're not very confrontational. But there are some people I can see being like, wanting to take care of the situation themselves. But me saying I'm playing Pokemon at a park, I don't know, older people, they either have, their view of Pokemon is either like satanic or like childish. So I guess it would just depend on the person, really. If it's like a younger person, they probably understand it's Pokemon. There's 400, by the way. But I don't really see the older people there too much. Yeah, I'll give it a shot. Oh yeah, especially where I live, there's a lot of older Amish people. So that would be like even worse. But I don't even know if they would say anything. Because I don't know if you know, but Amish people, they're not the greatest people. Like, there are some that are like, it's very black and white. There's not a lot of like middle ground for everyone. You're either like a terrible, you're either like a terrible person or like very nice. But I don't know, I grew up in like very Amish community, and a lot of them are like terrible people. So terrible. Yeah, like they're very good at like putting on a face for the public, but like behind the scenes they're like Oh my god, you need I don't even know if I would want to tell you to look up some stuff. But yeah, they're like, I mean, for example, I'll start off like at the tame end. Like when they go fishing, there's regulations you have to follow with weights and like gender, I'm pretty sure, of the fish. But they keep every single fish that they catch. Let's see. I'm trying to like start off with tamer options, but a lot of them are just terrible. Something personal, like personally bad, is that even in the winter time when it's like negative whatever degrees out, they'll still be using their horse and buggy. They'll still be riding around on that. I don't think morally that's right, that you should be putting an animal through that. After that, I don't even know how to like transition into it, but like they have sex with their animals, like quite a bit actually. It's mostly horses. I had two different cousins on two separate occasions tell me I can use their horse like in that way. Obviously I said no because that's wrong. Oh yeah, because especially with heavily religious people, they're still teenagers. They're gonna find a way to like express themselves because they have to hide it and like keep it pent up. I don't know about that. It's like a sect of Christianity. I mean, they're technically Christian, but it's more like a cult. They just can't use electricity. They all have to dress like the same way. And it depends where you are, but some places are more strict than others. But I'm just talking about like what I've heard, what I've seen, and what I've experienced. After that, they have dog breeding farms. Where they have like, they'll literally just keep dogs in cages and make them breed and sell their puppies, and like beat the dogs, and they don't take care of them. They get like terribly infected and like die all the time because of not being taken care of. And people will buy the dogs from it because they don't understand what's happening behind the scenes. They don't understand it's terribly immoral. Because I have people at work tell me that they get their dogs from them, and I want to tell them so bad that that's so immoral, but they already have the dog. So yeah, I don't know. I don't understand how that's legal even. It's like animal abuse. Maybe. But most of them, it does come from Christianity, but it is a cult of Christianity. Like they'll say it's just a lifestyle or whatever. It is like undoubtedly a cult. Like if you leave, you're basically exiled, right? There's some other. Oh yeah, if you're not Amish, you can't join the Amish. You have to be born Amish, which is weird. And then here's like the weirdest part. It's like a specific story, but it's very telling. So there was, I think it was in Ohio actually. There was a pastor who had a mentally disabled daughter. Oh yeah, there's also lots of inbreeding. I'll get to that before. There is so much inbreeding because it's like you have to be with someone that's also Amish, right? But the communities are so small that a lot of people marry their like first and second cousins. it's not like there's not a lot of actual like family incest, but as far as like cousins, they don't care. But that brings me to the story. The pastor had a mentally disabled daughter, and he basically, you know, I don't know how else to say this, took advantage of her, and she got pregnant, and I don't even remember what happened, but like they found out it was the pastor, and all he had to do was confess his sins, and he's good as new. Like, they let him off the hook, scot-free, for impregnating his disabled daughter, just because he apologized to God or whatever. That sounds like, yeah. I mean, there's not a lot of that because most people don't want to be Amish or don't want to look Amish, because it's very like, a lot of people are understanding and learning about it, and like there are people that are good, like there's a lot of farmers and whatever. Oh, there's another thing. Because there's this weird idea that like produce and whatever from Amish people are a lot more organic and healthy or whatever, but what they'll do is they'll take like store-bought items and then sell them as like organic, homegrown, and make a profit of it. Like I've seen people, the most common thing is eggs. Like people will buy eggs from the store and sell them as like organic, free-range chicken eggs, and like take advantage of people because they think Amish people have like better produce or whatever, when in fact that's usually the opposite case. They usually spend as little money as possible because they barely have enough to survive. Like only the woman cannot work, only the man, and then the man, obviously you can't have cell phones, so you have to get like very specific jobs that are like very hard labor or whatever, or just farming. But like most of the stuff that they buy, it's in bulk because they have like 8 children. They have to buy a lot, so they always go for the cheapest of the cheap. I don't know where this idea came from that they only eat what they grow and all this nonsense. That's not true. They're at Walmart, they're at like these discount places. It is, but it's like accepted because it's most people see it as like a religion, but it's not a religion. The only thing that's religious about it is the Christianity part. And the reason why they don't use electronics is because it's a distraction from God. That's the reason, I guess. But more and more Amish people are getting cell phones. Like they'll find people that aren't Amish and they'll like smuggle in cell phones for these teenagers or kids, and like, yeah, it's very extreme. It's like almost in between extreme Muslim and like Christianity. Like you have to have your hair covered with the bonnet or whatever. You have to have your whole body covered with the dress. Yeah, it's crazy. Also, if you're to die in like, basically if you end your own life, to say, you get an unmarked grave, and any flowers that are put on top of it, they're gonna be taken and like burned. I don't understand how it's so socially acceptable That's why I'm saying they're very good at like saving face and like putting on this identity that they're very nice. And the thing is, they probably don't understand why it's bad because they've grown up in it. But that's why it's a cult, because they can't see why what they're doing is bad. That's why a lot of people leave. And more are leaving because they're starting to understand because of the phones. That's why they don't want the phones, because they're able to learn from it, and they don't want them to learn. I'm pretty sure that's why also they're only required to go to school up until 8th grade. After 8th grade, you don't have to, you're done with school. A 100%. Especially without the critical thinking part. Like, for the longest time, I didn't like Christians because obviously most people that identify as Christians don't practice correctly. The people that actually practice what they're supposed to, they're not homophobic. They're not racist, obviously. But like the people that just use it as an excuse, basically, those are the people that like give Christianity a bad name. And I'm not Christian. I'm not like, there are teachings I don't like in Christianity, but like true actual practicing Christians, they're actually nice people. But the people that are like gay people go to hell, you know, go back to your country, those people are not true Christians. But I completely agree. And I'm assuming that's why Amish people have to have a lot of kids, because the rate that people leave is probably at the rate that they're having kids. But I'm glad it's shrinking, because it's just not a great life. Yeah, it's the same. In America, it's the same. Like, but the thing is, even my generation, we've grown up, like, they've indoctrinated us with the idea that like all Muslims are terrorists. 9/11, like every single year on 9/11, we'd have to watch the documentary about it. And we never got any history or like actual teachings of the Muslim faith, because they just wanted us to see the bad side and hate them. But as Gen Z grew up and we have access to social media, especially TikTok, a lot of that phobia has gone away, because we can actually see what it is. Like, don't get me wrong, there is a few teachings that I don't agree with. But that's the thing, though. There's a lot of things in certain religions I don't like. That's why I don't like to pick religions. I just like to take whatever I like out of certain religions and try and apply that. Like, Christianity has a lot of good teachings, but the problem is who's teaching it, right? Like, if you had someone closer to Jesus, very accepting, very loving, like actually accepting, I feel like a lot of people would get behind it. But like we don't accept gays, we don't accept if you're not legal, we don't accept if you're this, if you're that. That's not Jesus, brother. Yeah, I know. It's not like right now in America, it's mostly like deport all illegals. That's like the main thing. But back in 2016 or whatever, that's all people were talking about. Like, we need to get rid of them. They're all this, they're all that. Right. I think that's what most people should have. And that's like the main problem with the right in America, is like most people will not change their opinion no matter what. Like when if you were to see someone who's MAGA, who's like for Donald Trump, they can't say anything bad about him. Like they don't. Like even if you bring up something bad about him, like his cases and all the bad things about him, they'll be like, they'll have an excuse, they'll have something to like protect him. But if you were to ask the left, they can criticize their candidate. They can criticize, they can understand, okay, I don't like this about this person. Like for Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, I didn't like a lot of things about them. They barely did anything to help. They did do some, but as far as like the Middle East, Israel and Palestine, they just have the wrong opinion. I know. It's I don't know why that's spreading everywhere. And like even Donald Trump as a person, like if he's in an interview and someone brings up something negative about it, he'll either gaslight them and say it never happened, or he'll just say, he'll just insult them. And it's not, I don't understand how this is happening. But that sort of ideology is spreading where like you can just say anything and people will get upset. And that keeps them distracted from the real problems. Like, illegal people in this country are not a problem. It seems like it would be a problem, but the amount of people, at least in America, that work in agriculture, that work in like essential parts of America, even if they are illegal, they provide so much. Like, right now, there's people not coming into work because they're afraid of getting deported in the agriculture business. So what's going to happen is prices are going to go up on vegetables and produce because the people that are like harvesting, they're not coming into work. But at this point, I can't do anything. I just have to sit back and watch them be wrong. It's already happening. And this is stuff that we've warned them about for like months and years. Like, if you do this, this is going to happen. They're like, and they just don't believe it. It's the same thing with climate change. Like, either they don't want to believe it, or they can't. I don't even know. I don't even know at this point. I don't know. Yeah, I can't see life getting any better in these next 4 years. It is. It's not even about like, I don't know what's happening. Like, is the goal to literally take over the earth and control everybody? I don't understand what the point of it is. Like, how is it so hard to understand that life is not good? They can make it good. They're not making it good. Why are they still, like, getting into office? How is this happening? I mean, I know it's because of manipulation, because of, like, the words that they say, how they say it, denying everything. I understand that, but like, how can people believe it? All I know is we're in a movie right now. Exactly. Like, one of my coworkers, a lot of people don't like, they judge him because he's Muslim and he's from Bangladesh. But like, I tried to put that out of the way. I don't like him, but I don't like him because he's lazy. I don't like him because he doesn't do the work he's supposed to. But to judge him based on the fact that he has an accent when he speaks or like what he practices, I don't understand that. Like, even if someone's Christian, I have a worse view of Christians than I do Muslims at this point. I still try and not hold that against them. Even if it's someone on the right, I try and listen to them and try and explain if we get tariffs on Canada and Mexico, it's not going to be good for us. I try and explain that, but it just doesn't compute. So the only way people can learn sometimes is, I guess, it being shown to them. So we'll just have to see about that. But I definitely try and like put everything aside when I meet someone. Obviously it stays in my head because I need to build a profile on them so I can understand how they think and how they act, and if I want to align myself with them. But most of the time people are just very ignorant and they don't want to learn. They want to stay they don't want to change. The fear of change is so what is it? It's so barbaric and so pre-evolution. Like, change is happening so fast at this point. To deny it or to like not embrace it is just crazy. Like, yes, there are going to be people that want to be the opposite gender. I don't understand why that's a problem. It really isn't, though. It's not a personal problem. Like, if someone didn't like Christians, do you think that we'd be able to like have people not wear crosses around their neck or like carry Bibles? No. It's just like, if you don't want to see it, that's your problem. Like, I've seen people that like transition. I don't care. Like, if that makes them happy, cool. It's the same thing like if someone saw me play Pokemon and they were like, why are you playing that? It's a kid's game. This, that, and the other. It's like, well, I don't care if I'm not a kid. I still want to play Pokemon because I enjoy it. And even before all this transgender stuff happened, there was a person at my middle school who like who was born a woman, right? But wanted to be a boy. And that happened like very early on in life. Like elementary school, they were still identifying as a boy. And even in middle school, before all this stuff became political, most people at the middle school didn't care. They were just like, yeah, Tay's a boy. Why not? Yeah, I mean, that's usually what people say, is like, if it doesn't affect me. But the only thing I can see affecting you is like if they get mad at misgendering or whatever. But like, I don't care. Like, if someone changed their name, I'm not gonna call them the name that they had before, like whether or not they're trans or not. Like JD Vance, his name is not JD Vance. He changed it. I'm not gonna call him his other name, his born name. But like, if it does get extreme to like them getting mad at you for like accidentally calling them the wrong name or whatever, that's the only thing I can see affecting. Or if you like, just if they're not able to accept mistakes, I think that's more like a person to person thing though. That's not a full-on thing. Like I've come in contact with people at the gym that have transitioned. It hasn't affected me at all. Like the person who like runs the gym is trans, and that's fine by me. Like even I used to be very upset when someone who was trans like liked me on Tinder, like when I had Tinder, or like if someone was interested in me that was trans. That's okay. It's the same thing like if a guy, I've had guys that have also been interested in me. It's just their preference. And you can't really know someone's preference until you get to know them. But you can't get to know them if you don't talk to them. So I kind of just like, it's like you said, I don't really judge people. I don't, because most people see that as like an insult. Like, I would never date a trans person, but like, they don't know that. Right. Like, I've had people come in here that have used they, them pronouns, and I try and remember it. I'm not the best at remembering it, because I don't really have a lot of experience with people that use other pronouns, but like, I'll still try. It's the same thing as like remembering someone's name. Like, if you choose not to remember someone's name, that's gonna be rude. So if you purposefully don't try and remember their pronouns, it's kind of like the same thing. But like, I mean, there is a line. I don't know if I would use any other pronouns besides like they, them might be the furthest I go, but I don't know if that's like because I haven't met someone that uses other ones, but like I mean, the only thing I've seen is like a variation where it's like he, they, she, they sort of thing. But like neo pronouns, I don't think I would do that. It depends though. I've never even seen that. I don't even know if that's like an actual issue or like an actual thing people use. But like it's kind of the same thing as like if you read out someone's username and they're like, okay, you can call me this instead. I'd be like, okay, I'll try and remember that. But like most of the issues that are in politics in America are like not issues. They might be like moral issues or like societal issues. But like I can't buy a house right now. And most people can't afford groceries or rent or like healthcare. So why is that the biggest issue? Is like what we call people. Out of all the orders that Trump signed on day one, having definitions for male and female should not be high on the priority list. I'm pretty sure the only reason he did that is because it's easy. There's not a lot of like things you can do, especially when it comes to lowering prices, which was his main point. His main point was day one, I'm gonna lower grocery prices, I'm gonna fix the housing crisis. It's been 3 days, I think, and still not fixed. That's true. I have yet to meet someone like that. I'd probably there was a quote I had, I forget where I read it or whatever, but it's like, oh, it was from Ted Lasso, I think. It was like, I forget what the quote was, but it's basically like, don't use judgment, or ask questions, don't use judgment, or something like that. Oh my god. Piers Morgan I don't understand his issues. A lot of them aren't even like anything. Like, and as soon as someone brings up an actual issue, there's no answer. It's just beating around the bush. Okay, what about paying people equally? Well, I don't think there's no actual reason. It's just opinions. There's no actual like he was debating Neil deGrasse Tyson on something, but like I like Neil deGrasse Tyson's view on gender. It's like people think it's like supposed to be a fact when it's literally not. Gender is literally a social construct, meaning it's not real. Sex is real. Like, people can have assigned sex at birth or whatever, but if we're talking about gender, it's not a real thing. Also, I don't know if you saw, when they did put the legal definitions for male and female on the whatever website, for male, they put, I forget what they put, but the way that they put it, it's just not even true. Because people start out, the first 6 weeks, or it's like at conception, the smaller reproductive cell. That's what they put it as or something. But the first 6 weeks of development, humans start out as female. So technically males don't exist, if we want to go by definitions. I don't even know how they could get that wrong. But I guess in America, trans people don't exist anymore because of the thing that was signed. But here's the thing, they still exist. If I wanted to put in the Constitution or whatever, pedophiles don't exist, and we shouldn't try and search out for them and arrest them. First of all, that's sus. Second of all, they're still going to exist. Just because you say something doesn't exist doesn't mean it doesn't. There's still people with certain fetishes. Even if you were to ban fetishes, people would still have them. It's not like, it's not a law issue. It does, but yeah. I don't know though. It's hard to like, it will exist, but you can't make everyone stop talking about it at once. Like, that is very true. That's the only way to get rid of it. But the only way is to not talk about it, which people are going to talk about it so people don't do it. Like, if people with kids, they're going to be like, okay, you have to understand you're black and people might not like you because of that. And they have to understand why people won't like them because of that. So unless everyone collectively agrees to stop talking about it, or there's some law that we can't talk about it, it's gonna keep happening, unfortunately. But I do agree 100%. And the problem now is there was some discrimination law that was just taken out of effect in America, where people can now freely judge you based on your race, ethnicity before hiring you, and they can choose not to hire you based on that. Yeah, but then it's an issue of like staying quiet. Like right now, anyone who's not white can now openly be discriminated against, and I can't just like, I don't want to stay quiet about that because I don't think that's right. I don't think that should be happening. Same thing with like trans people. I don't think that they should be classified as non-people, or they shouldn't be allowed to exist. And then like if gay marriage gets taken out, it's just like going backwards. Like all these achievements are just going backwards just because it makes some people happy. But I do know ultimately it's just a distraction to like make us forget about everything else that they're doing wrong. Like they're making the smaller issues so blown out of proportion that they can just get away with the big stuff. Oh, sweet. I had a package delivered. Yeah, it's just scary not knowing what's next. I mean, the main thing is like how, as a society, like when we elect a leader, the point is to make life better. But like, I guess better is subjective, but most people can agree that like groceries, housing, and like healthcare are the main things that affect everyone. But at the same time, people just don't, they want to focus on the little things. It 100% is. And I think the main thing is just like change, like I was talking about. Like they want to keep things as they were, but as it was back then, people weren't happy. Like a certain group of people were happy, and they want to go back to when, and they're in that certain group, and they want to go back to when that certain group was happy and everyone else was sad or like not satisfied. Yeah, it's literally to make the wealthy wealthier, at least in America. Like the tax cuts that got put into place, everyone making under $360,000 a year has tax increases. And then everyone above that has tax cuts. That's not even an opinion, that's literally what the plan is. That's literally what the tax cut plan is in America. So it's like making us focus on these little things while we get taken advantage of. But then the people that try and point it out, they just get attacked because of how they identify or how they which side they're on or whatever. It is. Like, the people at work that have voted on the right, I try and, like, understand, like, how they're thinking about it. But in every situation, as soon as I would see it's, I don't know, as soon as I would see something I didn't like, I would criticize it. But they don't want to criticize it. They want to turn a blind eye and, like, gamble on the hope that they'll be able to live a better life. So I don't even know. It's an interesting time to be alive. I just hope, like, as much as I don't like Donald Trump, I am, like, hoping there's a chance somehow that, like, I can be able to live better, but I just know that's not gonna happen. Like, it's already happening, especially with, like, the tax cuts and what's already been signed. Either nothing's gonna happen or it's gonna get worse. I don't see anything getting better. Yeah. It's just a lot of psychology and people taking advantage of psychology. And I don't know. It's like there's no, like, middle ground anymore. It's like you're either on one side or the other. And I know that's not the case. I know that's, like, just the media inflating it. I know most sane people aren't, like, radical left or radical right. Oh, 100%. Like, I've noticed a lot of the people on the right, at least in the US, it's very, most of them have, like, power struggles. Most of them have, like, were bullied, without a father, and just constantly trying to, like, kiss up to people, get on their good side, like, get validation. And I feel like that's what the right represents. It's like, you're very welcome here. We welcome you as long as you believe what we believe. Whereas, like, I mean, that's what I've seen with most people, is like they've encountered toxic masculinity in one way or another, and that's forced them to, like, want the validation of other men, of other people in power. And then for the women on the right, it's mostly just, like, to appease their husband or their dad or whoever has, like, raised them their whole life. But it comes to a certain point where I just, like, give up, kinda. Like, I don't want to give up on these issues, but, like, it's just I have no power. The power to vote doesn't do anything because the people that are voting are getting taken advantage of. Yeah. And it's like you said earlier, because they're so radical, they get more attention, and they grow because of the attention, and more people get converted over, which is why most young people who are like insecure about themselves, about like how they identify, they want a position of power, and that's like what is being represented, I guess. But I agree, like, even it's better not to talk about these kind of people, but it's so hard not to, because they're either spewing misinformation or saying just some dumb shit. And like, to call them out is to acknowledge them, and that's giving them the power, and it's hard not to do that. A 100%. And I'm not gonna lie, that was me. That was me from like 16 to 19. I was on the right. Because it was mostly like I went down the rabbit hole. It was like the Ben Shapiro owning libs compilations on YouTube. It was like iDubbbz TV, like all those edgy figures back then. Like, I got sucked in there for a couple years, but I realized why I got sucked in, and how, like, basically how cringe I looked, and that's what like turned me away from it. So I'm hoping some people can realize and like see through that, but the only thing we can do is judge them, or like, I don't know, we need to show them that that's not like socially acceptable. Oh yeah, you're like fresh out of there. But it wasn't till like 2020 until I reflected and realized the reason why people didn't like me wasn't because of my weight, because at that point I had lost like 100 pounds. It wasn't because of my weight, it was because I was a piece of shit. Yeah, and don't get me wrong, looking back on iDubbbz videos, they're still funny, but they're not funny because they're edgy. I think the edginess was just a way to have like a certain power over people. The power of like quote unquote free speech is what people call it now. It's not free speech, it's just the power to get away with stuff. Get away with stuff that is bad, objectively bad. And it's literally just a power struggle. That's all it comes down to. But yeah, I'll still go back to iDubbbz videos, but everyone, there's some people who haven't left that mentality, and they hate him now. They hate him just because he's changed into a better person and apologized for who he was. Like, I don't understand. I've even seen videos about like people that are my age who haven't changed being like criticizing iDubbbz for how he like used to be, and saying he's not funny anymore, cuck, what else, his edginess was the only reason people watched him, and it was just, wait, did I check that? I didn't even check that one. But I'm glad both of us got out of that. I'll probably get to 500 resets before I head out, so probably like 6 more. But it's been fun talking about this stuff, especially because it's like getting it off. At least for me, it's like getting it off my chest. Because there's just so much frustration and there's not a lot of people to talk to about it. I agree too. It's just some people, the way that they have to change, it's very like, it's hard. It's like finding the right key to the right hole. Yeah. Like some people you have to literally like, some people you have to like entirely not talk to anymore for them to understand what they're doing is wrong. Some people, they just need to hear the right phrase or the right words to explain it to them. Some people just need to see it happen to them, to like experience it, to understand why it's wrong. There's just there's like a lot of different ways people need to understand it, but each person's different, so there's no like one solution for it. Dun, dun. Yeah, this is my first sword and shield reset. These things go by slow. It's been almost 2 hours and I'm only 200 more encounters. And the odds are like 1 in 4096, so I'm only like 1/8 of the way there. Crazy. I'm hoping I can get it not that far into it though. Like Diglett, I'm gonna definitely go over for. I'm hoping I can get this one way under odds. And I know the shiny charm doesn't work on it, but I really hope. I really hope. Zygarde and Tapu Fini. I heard Zygarde was the hardest though. Like out of all the, maybe it's just the complete form. I don't know, but oh, you got Xurkitree? Hell yeah. Yeah, because it has, like, what you're supposed to do, I guess, is have Wide Guard and then 1,000 arrows. Or no, you're supposed to have Wide Guard for 1,000 arrows. And then, I guess, Ice types, maybe? I don't know. I'll probably have to do Zygarde eventually, because I'm pretty sure you can only get it in the DAs, right? That's the only place you can get Zygarde. So I'm gonna get all the Tapus, and I'm gonna get the Gen 7 legendaries, and then Zygarde, and that'll be it. Alright, I'm gonna do one more reset, and then I'm gonna head out. We'll see if this one is the magic number. Every time you reset, you're charged 10 or... Huh. That's interesting. So... Huh. Interesting. Yeah, no shiny, unfortunately. But I didn't even know you could reset paths like that. I might have to try that. But yeah, I'm gonna head out. I hope you had a good time. I hope you get what you were hunting for, Zygarde and Tapu Fini. I hope you get both of those today. But yeah, for now I'm gonna head out. I'll see you around.